Single dad CEO discovers a heartwarming surprise when his daughter asked, "Can she stay forever?" There's something gut-wrenching about an innocent child's question to a dad who is always hustling for a better life. Michael, a 42-year-old CEO of a tech company, always thought he had it all figured out until that unforgettable day on the porch, with his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, sucking on a melting ice cream cone. "Can I stay forever?" she asked, wide-eyed and full of innocence. It felt like the floor dropped out beneath him. Her words sliced through the clutter of strategy meetings and financial projections, digging deep into the heart of his struggle. Here was his spirited daughter, yearning for connection as summer's laughter echoed around them, yet he was bound by the unyielding demands of his career. Every day, Michael was trapped in the whirlwind of board meetings, critical pitches, and countless emails fighting to give Lily a life that shimmered beyond the drab office walls. Yet, at that moment, surrounded by the joyful chaos of their Maplewood neighborhood, he realized what was at stake. The lingering warmth of the summer sun contrasted sharply with the tightness in his chest. Was success really worth this heavy distance between them? The love in Lily's eyes held a mirror that reflected his fears. But he couldn't shake the belief that sending her to stay with her grandparents for a bit was for the best. How could he possibly juggle it all? Weeks passed in silence, Michael at home filled with regret and Lily confined to her grandparents' house, a place still rich with love but lacking the laughter they shared as a pair. The joyful giggles and game nights had been replaced by an aching void. He found himself scrolling through photos on his phone, a heartbreaking reminder of the bond they shared, and his heart ached with each swipe. Each night felt longer than the last, wrapping him in a blanket of loneliness. Instead of visiting game nights, he spent late evenings clenching his fists over spreadsheets, but each victory at work rang hollow without her laughter. As the annual summer fair approached, neighborhood kids ran joyfully, and parents gathered with their chilly drinks, sharing problems and laughter. Michael found comfort in snippets of conversation with neighbors. They spoke of their own sacrifices, their struggles similar yet unique, a common thread weaving through their lives. An empathetic neighbor, after noticing Michael's drained expression, shared a simple truth: it's not just about making a living, but living well. Those words wrapped around him like a lifeline. They reminded him of the importance of connection over ambition, but trepidation loomed in Michael's mind. Would he be too late to mend what had frayed between father and daughter? The thought hit him hard as he gazed at the sparkling lights of the fair, where families reveled under the warm summer sky. Amidst the laughter, could he muster the courage to ask Lily what staying forever really meant? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. The festival buzzed with activity, a vibrant tapestry of joy he used to enjoy with Lily, and he stood there wrestling with whether he could reclaim their connection after all that distance. In a moment of clarity, he recognized he didn't want to just be a dad working hard for his family, he wanted to be the father who built memories, locked in laughter. Would Lily still welcome him, or had he lost his chance? As he watched a little girl race to her mother's arms, his heart raced too. The summer night held promise, but would it carry him back to his daughter? The answer lingered just out of reach, waiting for the courage to take the first step. The glimmer of lights danced in Michael's eyes, masking the storm of emotions rumbling inside him. It felt surreal to be standing there, surrounded by laughter and families. Every child was a constant reminder of what he had let slip away. He could almost hear Lily's laughter mixed in with the cheerful shouts of other kids. The smell of popcorn wafted through the air, and the sound of distant music played lightly, but it barely reached him. All he could focus on was the gaping wound where his connection with Lily used to pulse with warmth. He took a deep breath, trying to calm the whirlwind inside. He had come to the fair hoping to find an answer, not just for him but mostly for her. Looking toward the carnival games, he noticed kids huddled around a booth, cheering each other on. A knot twisted in his chest, he could just picture Lily there, her eyes bright, daring him to join her for a game. How long had it been since they shared one carefree moment? Without thinking, he started walking toward the games, battling a rising tide of fear. What if she rejected him? What if she had decided that life with her grandparents was easier and better? The doubts nipped at him with every step. Still, he pushed on, driven by a flicker of hope. He wanted to hear her voice, to see her smile again. As he rounded a corner, the sight of a cotton candy stand caught his eye, and unbidden, memories washed over him. Lily squealing with delight, her hands sticky and sugar-coated as she clutched the oversized treat. There it was, the connection they had, the simple joy of being together. "Hey, kiddo." Michael's voice startled him as he blurted the words out, suddenly feeling exposed and raw. The girls at the cotton candy stand turned to stare. And then, from the edge of the crowd, he saw her. Lily, with her hair in tousled pigtails and a radiant smile that lit up the evening, was skipping towards him. "Daddy!" Her voice squeaked with undeniable excitement. It felt like an electric jolt surged through him. Maybe he hadn't lost her after all, yet, as she reached him, he saw a flicker of uncertainty cross her face. Was she afraid he wouldn't want her back? He knelt to her level, looking deep into her eyes. "I've missed you, sweetheart. Really missed you. Did you come to get me?" she asked, her gaze searching his for any hint of doubt. The question hung heavily between them. He wanted to scream, to reassure her that she was his world, but the words felt like stones in his throat. I did. I want you to stay with me. Forever." The words rushed out, laced with a desperate plea for forgiveness. "Let us make new memories. We can get cotton candy, play games, the whole night is ours." For a moment, time hung in a fragile balance, and Michael's heart thudded painfully in his chest as he awaited her response. He could see the confusion morphing into something softer, hope. But before she could reply, a group of kids descended on them, pulling Lily's attention away. "Come on, let us play," one shouted excitedly. The momentary connection between them slipped, but he saw her smile broaden as she looked back at him. Dread filled him. Had he miscalculated? Could he truly pull her back into the rhythm of their life? "Daddy, you'll come too, right?" she called, looking over her shoulder, her expression full of expectation. He nodded slowly, excitement flaring anew alongside fear. "Yes, I'll be right there." As she bounded away with her friends, he realized he was out of breath, not from the run, but from the gravity of what lay ahead. This was the moment, the door opening to a path he desperately hoped they could walk together again. But would it be enough to overcome the distance he had created? Could he muffle the noise of ambition long enough to hear the laughter they had missed? With renewed determination, he took a step forward. But just as he did, his phone buzzed in his pocket. He hesitated, torn between the pull of his responsibilities and the moment unfolding before him. Perhaps answering this one call could change everything again. What would he choose to prioritize in that fleeting moment? Michael stood at the edge of the games, his heart racing. The sounds of laughter and joy filled the air, but his focus was on Lily. She was not just a fleeting figure, she was a vibrant part of his life that he had almost lost. He watched as she disappeared into the throng of children, her laughter ringing like the sweetest melody. The buzz from his phone intensified, and he felt the weight of it in his pocket. With every chime, a flash of worry crossed his mind. Was it work? A problem that needed his immediate attention? The pit in his stomach deepened. All this time, he had chased after ambition, believing it was for the best. But now, standing here, he could see the truth staring back at him in the form of his daughter. He glanced at the screen, an unknown number. He hesitated. In that moment, he felt as though he were at a crossroads, one path leading to his obligations, the other to the chance to mend the bond with Lily. He let the phone buzz one more time before deciding. Stuffing his phone back into his pocket, he sprinted after Lily. He couldn't let her slip away again, not now. The vivid colors of the carnival spun around him as he maneuvered through families and joyous faces, their carefree spirits weighing heavily on his heart. He spotted her by the ring toss booth, eyes shining as she picked up a brightly painted ring, chatting excitedly with her friends. When she noticed him approaching, her face lit up like the twinkling lights around them. "Daddy! Watch me!" Lily shouted, her enthusiasm contagious. Michael was breathless as he reached her, joy mingling with anxiety. "You're going to win that big stuffed bear," he encouraged, trying to match her excitement. As she took her turn, he watched every tiny movement, the way she bit her lip in concentration, the little bounce in her step, how she cheered on her friends. It was everything he had missed. Each moment shared was a promise that he would not let work come between them again. Lily tossed a ring, missing its mark entirely, but her friends rallied around her with cheers. "That was close," one exclaimed, and Michael smiled at her infectious energy. "Sometimes, it takes a few tries to get it right," he said, kneeling beside her. "You want to give it another shot? Please?" She beamed, her eyes wide with hope. As she prepared to throw again, Michael felt his phone buzz yet again. Drowning out the noise, he leaned in and whispered, "You got this, sweetheart." She threw again, and this time, the ring landed perfectly. The thrill of victory erupted across Lily's face, and Michael's chest swelled with pride. "I did it! I did it!" She squealed, and for a moment, the world around them faded. "Congratulations! Now you can pick your prize," he said, helping her step up to claim a plush unicorn, much larger than he anticipated, but the thrill of success was short-lived as the phone buzzed again, breaking the moment. His heart sank as he recognized the gravity of ignoring calls from work. But when he looked at her joy, her laughter, it brought a sense of clarity. What was success without her? What did any of it mean if he wasn't present to share in her happiness? As they meandered back toward the crowd, he felt her small hand slip into his. It was a simple gesture, but it filled him with warmth. "Daddy, can I stay with you? Like, forever?" The question caught him off guard, stirring every fear and every dream he had for them. All the struggles, all the sacrifices, was he ready to embrace it fully? Michael looked into her hopeful eyes. He wanted nothing more than to hear those words again and again. But was it truly possible to give her what she desired while building the future he envisioned? "Lily, we can talk about that later," he said gently, squeezing her hand, but as they walked, the buzzing in his pocket continued. It was a call he couldn't ignore. Would answering it mean abandoning his daughter once more? Or was there a way to forge both paths together? The carnival lights shimmered like stars as Michael and Lily wandered hand in hand through the colorful chaos. Joy surged inside him, battling the tension simmering just beneath the surface. He felt pulled in two directions. His daughter's laughter wrapped around him like a warm blanket, but the nagging buzz of his phone was an alarm bell he couldn't ignore. "Daddy, look!" Lily pointed towards a clown twisting balloons into intricate shapes. Her face sparkled with wonder. He watched her, entranced. Would there ever be a moment where everything felt perfect? They had already spent precious time together, and yet, the air was thick with uncertainty. The clown handed a bright blue dog balloon to a little girl nearby, and Lily's eyes flickered with desire. "Can I get one, Daddy?" The question dug deep into his heart, amplifying the weight of the decisions he faced. "Let us go see," he said, trying to match her enthusiasm, even as his mind raced. He made his way to the clown, only half listening to the chatter of giggling children around him. As they waited in line, Michael's thoughts drifted. Was he always going to be this torn? His career felt like a roller coaster that never promised the highs he desired. Yet here, with Lily, he felt grounded. Her balloon was a dog, crafted with care, and as she clutched it tightly, Michael felt a rush of pride. "You got a great one," he said. "Can I take it home?" she asked, beaming up at him. "Of course." They strolled toward a nearby picnic bench, where the scent of cotton candy and fried dough wafted around them. "Can we sit here, Daddy?" she asked, tugging at his hand. "Yeah, let us sit." He plopped down with her beside him, watching families share laughter and create memories. Just then, his phone buzzed again, a jarring reminder of his responsibilities. He pulled it out, hesitating for a moment, then swiftly silenced it, stuffing it back in his pocket. Lily was pulling at his shirt, her face scrunching up in curiosity. "What's wrong?" "Nothing, kiddo," he said, forcing a smile. "Just business stuff." She looked unconvinced but refocused on the surrounding festivities. "Can we win more things?" she asked, her voice ringing with excitement. "Definitely." They could dive back into the sea of laughter and games, where worries felt like distant echoes. But as another wave of buzzing spurred from his phone, a shadow of regret washed over him. What if this was important? The fear of missed priorities gnawed at him again. He glanced at Lily, who was now easily lost in a story about a dragon who could fly to the moon. "Daddy, do you think we can do a family day every month?" she asked suddenly, her eyes wide with hope. The question knocked the wind out of him. "Absolutely. That sounds perfect," he replied, his voice steadier than he felt. How had he never thought of that? "Then I'll never be lonely." She cheered, and he felt his heart ache all over again. The noise around them faded into a blissful hum. For her, this was not just a day at the carnival, it was a lifeline. For him, it was a wake-up call. As they resumed their laughter-filled adventure, the phone buzzed one final time, a stark reminder of the world waiting beyond the carnival's bright glow. Now, Michael faced a choice: would he cling to the uncertain road of work or step into a new horizon with his daughter? He took a deep breath, ready to treasure every moment in front of him. But just as they turned towards the games again, something strange caught his eye, a figure watching them closely from a distance. An adult with familiar features, someone he hadn't seen in years. What was this unexpected connection doing at the carnival? And would it change everything? Michael squinted against the glow of the carnival lights, trying to make sense of what he saw. The figure lingered behind the Ferris wheel, half hidden in shadows, but it felt unmistakably familiar. A rush of confusion overwhelmed him, mixed with a strange blend of nostalgia. Who could it be? Was it a friend from long ago, or something more complicated? "Daddy, can we go to the games now?" Lily's plea brought him back to the present, her excitement a stark contrast to the tumult brewing in his mind. "Yeah, let us go," he replied, forcing a smile. But he couldn't shake the image of that person. He felt a pull towards the unknown, yet his daughter's hand in his anchored him to the moment. They approached a ring toss booth, its vibrant colors drawing Lily in like a moth to a flame. "I want to win that big teddy bear," she squealed, pointing at a plush toy larger than herself. The thought of Lily clenching that bear, running through the streets, filled him with warmth. Michael purchased a handful of rings, tapping into his competitive spirit. "All right, kiddo, watch this." He tossed the first ring. It landed just shy of the target. The second ring flew through the air but missed as well. With each unsuccessful throw, he felt the creeping weight of disappointment. "Come on, Daddy," Lily encouraged, her voice a delightful cheer. He took a deep breath, refocusing. He needed to make this moment matter. His third throw went wide again, but it didn't dampen Lily's enthusiasm. "You're doing great," she squealed, her eyes sparkling like the carnival lights. As he readied for another toss, a flicker of movement caught his eye again. The figure, now stepping into the light, looked more defined. His heart sank as recognition settled in. It was Sarah. Michael's heart raced not with joy, but with apprehension. Why was she here? The past rushed back, memories tangled in regret and unresolved emotions. "Daddy?" He glanced down at Lily, her innocent face upturned, waiting for her next great moment. "I'm good. Just a little distracted," he murmured, eyes darting back to the woman he had once loved, now a ghost of what could have been. With silent determination, he threw the last ring. It landed perfectly on the bottle, and the attendant smiled, handing him the enormous teddy bear. "Daddy! You did it!" Lily exclaimed, disbelief swimming in her eyes. She jumped into his arms, where joy surged like a tidal wave. "Here you go, champ." He handed her the bear, letting her squeal with delight. The sheer happiness in her face eased the tension clawing at his chest, but glancing back, Michael saw Sarah approach. She looked different, older, yes, but her warmth lingered. She opened her mouth as if to speak, and he felt a whirl of emotions crashing against him. Would this encounter shatter the small treasures he had built with Lily? "Michael?" Sarah's voice was soft, breaking through the noise of the carnival. His chest tightened. What did she want? Did she know about Lily? Were distant memories better left untouched? "Do you want to talk?" she asked with an open expression, as if she were cautious not to spook him. That he hesitated, caught between the joy of the moment with Lily and the weight of unresolved past. "Can we just have a good day at the carnival?" he answered, feeling a rush of protectiveness for Lily. "Of course," Sarah replied, the hint of sadness in her eyes. As he turned back to Lily, her laughter rang out, cheerful amidst the chaos of the carnival. But Michael's mind was racing. Could he face the past and build a future at the same time? "Can we go on the Ferris wheel next?" Lily's words broke through the haze, full of hope. "Absolutely," he said, squeezing her hand tighter in his. But deep down, as he walked toward the bright lights of the ride, he felt the shadows of his choices looming large. What would Sarah say next? Would this sudden re-entrance into his life cascade into confusion, or could it lead to clarity? The Ferris wheel loomed before them, its colorful lights swirling against the night sky. For a moment, Michael let himself be swept away in the magic of the carnival, a place where the smell of cotton candy and popcorn mixed with the laughter of children. Lily's joy was contagious, lighting up the darkness within him. "Look, Daddy! It's so big!" she shouted, her eyes wide with wonder as they approached the line. "Just like you, huh? Big and brave?" he teased, ruffling her hair, grateful for this moment, this escape from the past. But as they waited, Sarah's figure hovered at the edge of his thoughts. Michael stole a glance over his shoulder, half expecting to see her lingering like a shadow at the booth. Instead, it felt like an echo that wouldn't fade. "Daddy!" Lily tugged at him. "Are we getting on?" "I want the front." "Right. Front row it is." He smiled, drawing himself back to her excitement. But even as they climbed aboard, he could feel his heart thumping with anxiety. The ride started, slowly lifting them into the air. The world below shrank away, making everything feel small, like his worries about Sarah and what their encounter might entail. "Look!" Lily pointed, beaming with glee as the carnival spread out beneath them like a patchwork quilt. "It's so pretty." "It really is, kiddo," Michael agreed, though part of his heart was still anchored to the ground below. He could see Sarah standing there, watching the Ferris wheel spin, her expression unreadable. Lily's laughter broke through the chaos in his mind. "We're flying. Can we go again after this?" "Maybe. Let us see how brave you feel on the way down." He could sense his own tension loosening, but the moment wasn't without its weight. "Daddy," she asked during a pause, her voice soft and curious, "do you still love her?" The question cut through him like a cold breeze. It wasn't something he expected to discuss while floating high above the carnival. "Lily," he hesitated, searching for the right words. "It's complicated. Sometimes, people change and so do feelings." She looked at him, eyes wide and innocent, trying to process what he said. "But I want us all to be together." As the ride crested, the view was breathtaking. The carnival lights danced below, creating a sense of wonder. But Michael felt the weight of his daughter's hopes and the unresolved past, with Sarah pressing against his chest like a heavy stone. "I know," he said gently, brushing his hand across Lily's cheek. "I want you to be happy." But sometimes, we have to figure things out first. He wished he could promise her everything would be perfect. The thought of Sarah wishing to reconnect with him filled him with a mix of hope and dread. As they descended, he glanced back once more. To his surprise, Sarah was looking directly at him, her expression soft yet serious, much like Lily's had been. In that moment, he saw the mother of his child, the woman he once adored, but also the complicated history they shared. "Daddy?" Lily interrupted his thoughts, her joyful voice breaking through. "What if we ride with her next time?" The word struck him like lightning, jolting his heart. Could he really navigate this line between the joy of fatherhood and the shadows of his past? As the ride came to a stop, Michael took a deep breath, feeling the weight of decisions looming before him. Would he risk everything to face the past for Lily's sake? With a flicker of determination, he made his choice. "Yeah, babe. Let us see," he said softly. He had yet to discern what this all meant, but he wouldn't turn away from the possibilities. As they stepped off, Michael felt the atmosphere of the carnival shift, like the tension before a storm. What would Sarah say next? Would the past cast a shadow over the future he wanted, or could they really forge a new path together? The sounds of laughter and the whirring of carnival rides filled the evening air as Michael and Lily stepped back onto the ground, the glow of the Ferris wheel fading behind them. The thrill still tingled in Lily's grin, her tiny hands clasped tightly around a cloud of cotton candy. Michael returned her beaming smile, but shadows of uncertainty loomed in his heart. "Can we find something else to ride?" Lily chirped, twirling on her heels. Her joy was infectious, yet Michael found himself hesitating, caught between the vibrant life of the carnival and the animalistic instinct that drew his thoughts back to Sarah. "Sure," he said, willing himself to stay present. "How about that roller coaster over there?" He pointed toward a brightly painted structure that twisted and turned with thrilling abandon, but anxiety bubbled in his chest at the thought of sharing the day with Sarah. As they meandered through the carnival, Michael caught glimpses of Sarah. She was engaged with a group of laughter-filled friends, her hair shimmering under the bright lights. The sight of her ignited sharp memories, good ones that twisted into sharp pains in his stomach. "She's pretty," Lily exclaimed, tugging at his arm. "Is that her?" "What?" Michael replied, drawn from his trance. The innocent curiosity in her voice disarmed him, the little light within his daughter reminding him of simpler times. "Can she come with us? She'd have so much fun." Lily gushed, excitement spilling from her. Michael felt his heart stutter. Could he really open that door again? He swallowed hard, trying to align his heart with reason. "Let us just enjoy our time, okay?" But Lily didn't relent. Her tenacity always impressed him. "But doesn't she miss you? It's like a fairy tale when you're all together." The fairy tale had long since unraveled. Sometimes, Michael wished it had never begun. He stood there, caught between the love for his daughter and the weight of his past with Sarah. "I miss her too, sometimes," he admitted softly, unsure where this conversation would lead. "Can we just ask?" Lily's eyes were wide and earnest, shimmering with hope. Before he could answer, Lily tugged his hand and marched toward Sarah, who laughed at something one of her friends said. Michael felt his heart race. Every step toward her felt like traversing a tightrope, no safety net below. "Daddy!" Lily called out, unabashed, pulling Sarah's attention. She waved enthusiastically, as if she hadn't seen her in ages. Michael's breath caught in his throat. He joined Lily, carrying the weight of history with every stride. Sarah's smile softened, and the laughter around her dimmed. It was as though time shifted, slowing down to the rhythm of his heart pounding with anxious anticipation. "Hey, Lily!" Sarah crouched down, warmth radiating from her as she enveloped Lily in a hug. "You're having fun?" "Yes. But it'll be more fun if you ride with us," Lily announced, beaming brightly, unfiltered joy full of innocence. Michael watched the interaction, unsure of how Sarah would respond. For a moment, there was silence. Michael saw Sarah's eyes flicker with surprise, then something deeper, perhaps hope, perhaps fear. Really? Sarah's voice was gentle, yet it bore the weight of their past. Yeah. It'll be like old times. Lily poured out, unaware of the gravity in the air around them. Michael felt himself holding his breath. It was one small child's adventure against a backdrop of unpredictable emotions that might change everything. Sarah glanced at Michael, searching his expression, then back to Lily, who was bouncing on her toes, filled with enthusiasm. Okay, Sarah finally said softly, her smile hinting at something more, a mix of longing and resolve. I love that. As they turned to walk toward the roller coaster, an unexpected warmth flooded Michael's chest. Maybe this was a step forward. Or maybe it was a step back into unresolved challenges. But one thing was clear, Lily's bravery had unlocked a door Michael wasn't sure he was ready to walk through. As they approached the ride, he felt a whirlwind of emotions, the exhilarating ups and downs of possibility mixed with dread. Would reconnecting with Sarah bring healing or more heartache? The moment ticked away, and he knew he was inching ever closer to choices that once seemed out of reach. Standing in the gap between the past and future, Michael pondered what he truly wanted. Could family hours still form in laughter and joy, or was this all just an illusion hiding the storm ahead? As they reached the roller coaster, the vibrant sounds of the carnival surrounded them, becoming a thrilling backdrop to the moment. Michael's heart raced, creating a symphony of excitement and anxiety in his chest. Lily took hold of Sarah's hand, pulling her closer to the entrance of the ride, her laughter ringing out like a bell chime in the summer air. Can we sit in the front? Lily pleaded, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. Sure, if you want to. Sarah replied, squatting down to meet Lily's enthusiastic grin. The warmth between them seemed to bridge an expanse that stretched wider than mere time. Michael followed, though he felt an avalanche of thoughts crashing against his resolve. This was the moment he had staunchly avoided, the collision of past love and present joy all tangled up together. Would he be able to manage the uncertainties that came with Sarah's presence? As they climbed into the brightly colored car, Sarah slid in beside Lily. Michael hesitated for a moment, then wedged himself in next to them, the three of them squeezed together within the confined space. With the safety bar locking over them, the world outside faded just a bit, and for a breath, it was just the three of them. Here we go. Lily squealed as the ride lurched forward. The ascent felt like a slow prison break, and Michael couldn't help but steal glances at Sarah. Her wide eyes mirrored Lily's delight, filled with a quiet thrill that reminded him of simpler times, a different time. As the coaster crested, a breeze washed over them, and for a moment, everything paused. In that suspended fraction of time, Michael thought about the years they spent together, the laughter and struggles they shared. It echoed in the hollows of his mind, surfacing with every ascent. Look, Daddy! Lily shouted, pointing to the view that spread below them, festive lights twinkling like stars against the night. Isn't it beautiful? So beautiful, Michael thought, but bittersweet too. He felt a balancing act, a tug-of-war between nostalgia and reality. He could feel Sarah's warmth beside him, her laughter melding into the fabric of their shared moment. Could they really turn back time? The roller coaster plunged downward, and his stomach dropped with it. Heart racing, he succumbed to the thrill of the ride, whooping along with Lily while trying to monitor Sarah's expression. The exhilaration mixed like an effervescent bubble inside him. When the ride finally slowed to a stop, the remnants of adrenaline buzzed in their veins. As they disembarked, Michael found himself watching Lily and Sarah, the two faces of joy that brought meaning to his life. A flutter of hope ignited inside him, the thought that maybe, just maybe, they were beginning to build something new. Let us get ice cream. Lily proposed, her voice full of glee. Please. Yeah, let us do that. Sarah agreed, casting a glance at Michael as if searching for his support. He nodded, unable to wipe the smile from his face as he joined their animated conversation, but as they made their way toward the ice cream stand, a shadow flickered across Michael's face, a nagging flicker of doubt. Could he really reconcile their history? Could they forge a path forward without the weight of unfinished business weighing them down? As they approached the stand, a sudden voice called out from behind them. A whisper of the past that sent a chill down his spine. Michael? He turned slowly, heart thudding in apprehension. In the chaos of the carnival, time felt like it was about to reshape, as if the choices he thought were in the rearview mirror were rushing back to the forefront. He faced a figure from days long gone, the familiar face resurfacing with intensity. What had he walked into, an unexpected reunion or an unraveling story of the past? Questions bubbled like ice cream melting in the summer sun, and Michael's breath caught. His next move might determine everything. What were the consequences of this encounter waiting just around the corner? Michael's heart raced as he turned to face the voice, memories flooding back like a tidal wave. The sight of Rachel sent a jolt through him, her familiar golden curls and easy smile striking a chord deep within. Memories of laughter, shared dreams, and a life that once was flared to life before him. Rachel? His voice wavered despite his attempts at steadiness. Wow, it's been ages. She exclaimed, stepping forward. Her eyes darted from Michael to Sarah, then back to him, a whirlwind of emotions flickering across her face. Yeah, it has, he managed, caught off guard by the swirl of feelings she brought back. Behind them, Lily was jumping up and down, oblivious to the undercurrent of tension. Is this your little girl? Rachel knelt to Lily's eye level. She's adorable. What's your name, sweetheart? Lily. She proudly declared, her eyes still gleaming with excitement from the roller coaster. Such a cute name. I'm Rachel. Your daddy and I go way back, she said, smiling warmly at Lily, but her gaze flicked to Michael, gauging his reaction. Yeah, he replied, trying to find his footing. We used to be close. The words hung in the air, weighted and real, echoing the parts of his life he buried. He glanced at Sarah, unsure how to read her expression. Would she resent this unexpected reunion? Would Rachel's presence derange the tender stability they were trying to grasp, or would it shine light on the tangled past? Wow, I can't believe you're a dad now, Rachel continued, her eyes bright. You always wanted a family. Things didn't go quite as planned, he replied, his jaw tightening involuntarily. He felt a protective instinct rise when he thought of Sarah and Lily. Things had turned out well, but remembering the dreams that had once drifted alongside Rachel's warmth dug into his heart. How's everything? Are you still in Manhattan? She asked, clearly trying to catch up while inconspicuously casting glances at Sarah. Yeah, the city is home, he replied, the conversation feeling both ordinary and charged. Behind them, the vibrant sounds of the carnival carried on, but with every passing second, the weight between them grew heavier. Michael felt like they were teetering on a blurred line of past and present. Lily tugged at his sleeve, a tiny voice bubbling with curiosity. Daddy, who's that? Can she come for ice cream with us? Rachel chuckled, and for a split second, the warmth returned. I'd love to join for ice cream. Maybe we can catch up. But beneath the surface, a storm brewed in Michael's chest. Would it be right for Rachel to join? Was it fair to invite someone from a past he had worked hard to distance himself from into the new narrative they were sculpting? Unsure, he felt like his own heart was taking a roller coaster ride. Or I can just go, Rachel offered, sensing the tension. I didn't mean to impose. No. Stay. Lily insisted, her little heart full of hope. We're getting sprinkles. Michael looked between Rachel and Sarah, feeling the weight of decision pressing down like a heavy bar. He could almost hear the ticking clock of choices. Accepting Rachel's presence could scrub at the edges of this new life he was crafting. Let's get ice cream, he finally stated, but hesitation colored his voice as doubt settled around him. The exuberance of Lily and Rachel melded into something more complicated, obscuring the joy that had just filled their day. As they walked toward the ice cream stand, laughter bounced between Lily and Rachel, but Michael felt trapped between what was, what is, and what could still be. As if sensing his turmoil, Sarah reached for his hand, grounding him. "Are you okay?" she asked softly. A genuine concern glimmered in her eyes that eased his inner tempest for a moment, but what would the future hold as unresolved feelings churned alongside the sweetness of ice cream and laughter? Once again, the past loomed large, and Michael couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning of an unexpected twist. In the depths of his confusion, he caught Rachel's glance, and they locked eyes, a silent understanding passing between them. An unspoken question lingered in the air, ready to unfold. How would he choose to define this next chapter? Michael's mind was racing as they approached the ice cream stand, a swirl of emotions churning inside him. Lily's laughter echoed around them, pure and joyful, while Sarah's gentle grip on his hand was a silent anchor. But behind it all loomed the specter of Rachel, a familiar face from a past long tucked away. Each step was weighted, each moment stretched taut like a bowstring. "What are you getting?" Lily asked, her eyes sparkling with excitement, oblivious to the tangled emotions swirling in the air around her. "I think I want mint chocolate chip," she declared, bouncing on her toes. Sarah smiled and said, "That sounds perfect, honey." Michael nodded, trying to focus on his daughter. "I'll go with vanilla." "Simple and classic, just like you," he said, smiling at Lily as the words escaped his lips, but his gaze drifted back to Rachel. "Have you thought about what flavor you want?" Rachel asked, her light tone almost hiding the deeper undercurrent. "Strawberry," she chirped, ever the enthusiastic negotiator. "3 scoops of sprinkles, right?" Sarah teased, playfully ruffling Lily's hair. Michael felt a flicker of warmth inside him. But as the ice cream scoops were piled high, the clamor of the crowd became deafening, and Michael rushed to organize his thoughts. They found a small table underneath the soft glow of carnival lights, and the sweet smell of ice cream filled the air around them. Lily, brimming with delight, busied herself concocting a dramatic dessert landscape with her sprinkles, completely unaware of the complicated web forming around her. "Thank you for staying, Rachel." "It really means a lot to Lily," Sarah said, breaking the ice. She was direct but gentle, and Michael admired her strength. "Of course. It's great to see you both enjoying the fair." Rachel's smile seemed genuine, an invitation and a challenge all at once, stirring the pot of nostalgia in Michael's heart. Just as the conversation began to flow, Lily interrupted with a delightful grin, "Tell us a story, Daddy." Michael chuckled, captivated by her innocence. "What kind of story, Pumpkin?" "An adventure. With dragons and an ice cream," she exclaimed excitedly. As Michael weaved a tale filled with fantastical wonders, he felt the familiar warmth of their bond returning, filling the table with laughter. Yet, just as he reached the climax of his story, the weight of his circumstances descended upon him like a heavy fog. As he finished, the applause from Lily erupted, pulling everyone's focus back to the moment. "Yes. More stories, please." Lily beamed, but the pause from Rachel and Sarah reminded him of the uncharted waters ahead. Michael cleared his throat, feeling the pull of the past tugging at him. "Lily, can I talk to the adults for a second?" Concern fanned across Lily's face. "Okay," she said, but it was tinged with the possibility of disappointment. "Just a minute," he reassured her. The two women's gazes met as Michael wrestled with the urgency of the moment. "Rachel, it really is great to see you. I need to be honest, though. Life has changed so much for me since we last met," he said, exhaling sharply. "Oh, believe me, I understand. Life has a way of doing that, right?" Rachel replied, her expression softening, but the heaviness lingered. "What do you want, Rachel?" Michael's honesty pierced the air, sharp and raw. "I just really care about you, Michael. I always have. Seeing you with Lily reminds me of what we could have had," she admitted softly, her vulnerability startling him that he felt a pang in his chest, like a door creaking open. "But I can't go back. I have responsibilities now, with Lily," he replied, the urgency of his role as a father echoing in his heart. Sarah reached for his hand, grounding him, as if saying, I'm here. We navigate this together. Exactly. You're a father now, and I respect that. But I believe in second chances. I wanted to see if there could be something, Rachel continued, her voice hopeful. We were young, Rachel. Things are different now, he responded, a knot tightening inside him. The weight of choices hung over them like dark clouds ready to spill. Rain. I know. But sometimes life circles back. Can't we have a conversation? She reached out softly, yet her words felt like waves crashing on the shore of his carefully built life. Sarah squeezed his hand tighter, anchoring his resolve. Michael, you have a family now. We can't just revisit the past without considering the future, she said gently. Lily frolicked back over with her triumphant creation, happiness glowing on her face. We need to make an ice cream dragon now. Michael smiled at her, and in that moment, everything else began to fade into insignificance. I'm going to let you enjoy your day, Daisy, Rachel said, tilting her head slightly toward Lily. But I just wish you'd think about it. Maybe someday, but today is for Lily, he murmured, feeling that clarity wash over him. Rachel nodded, stepping back with a small smile, one that was bittersweet, yet respectful. I'll always be a friend if you want me to be. Enjoy the carnival. And with that, the swirling currents of the past subsided, leaving Michael with the weight of his present, the gift of being a father. Are we ready for more rides? He called to Lily, whose eyes sparkled like stars. Yes. Adventure time. She shouted, her giggles filling the air. As they walked away, hand in hand, Michael took another deep breath, feeling the sweet scent of cotton candy and the unrelenting rush of love reminding him of what truly mattered. In that vibrant sea of color, laughter, and light, he had found a choice, a newfound commitment to create a reality for them all, one that was undeniably rooted in connection, with open doors in every direction. The future lay ahead, ripe with possibilities. And as long as he held Lily's hand, Michael would face whatever came together, because family was the land of endless adventures, and he was ready to embrace every moment. And as they swung on to the next ride, cheers erupting into the sky, he knew he'd made the right decision. The past wasn't behind him, it would always be part of him. But today belonged to them. Please, if you've enjoyed Michael and Lily's journey, you need to subscribe now. This is the moment to show your support and avoid missing out on more heartwarming stories. Hit the like button to feed the algorithm and spread the love. We want to hear your reactions, so leave a comment below sharing how this ending made you feel. And don't wait not even one more second to share this with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Your support means the world, and every gesture helps us bring more stories to life.